having substitutes just about everywhere. And it's finally the full roster. The boys are back in town. This is the roster that I was thinking of that could dominate the DPC if it were to have started this year. Because IG, if you remember last year, they were tearing it up. They were playing really well.
But this is what I was saying to you, that now people have motivation to play. People are actually going to start, not that they weren't taking it seriously before, but they take their game to a new level. And Fly being back, everybody's like, we need to get our head in the game again. Like, this is where it starts, right?
Yeah.
And I'm kind of hoping we see... I feel like at periods over this COVID time, different teams have taken turns not playing at their highest level. Like, because... we've been hearing interviews from the EU players in Epic League and stuff being like, where we kind of like really wanted to win certain tournaments, like, Liquid was saying before, they really wanted to win a tournament before the end of the year. And then the other tournaments, they're kind of been like, meh, like we're not really trying massively hard. So I'm kind of hoping all these Chinese teams show us the best of what they've got, because I think it'd be a good indication, especially towards the end of a patch. Everybody knows so much about the patch now. It'd be interesting to see who has the best idea about it overall.
Yeah, you've got a solid docket of 8 teams: Elephant, IG, LGD, Aster, eHome, RNG, Magma, and Vici. I would say of all 8 of those teams now, especially with IG having their full roster back, maybe it's Magma who are probably the weakest team. We've seen them perform pretty poorly in the past, but we've also seen them perform pretty well. We've seen Magma rise to the occasion, and I want to see these teams at their best. I want to see these teams I want to see Magma give eHome a run for their money, give RNG a run for their money. And now that you've got a full roster IG, like, this Group B is super strong, especially with the way Aster have been performing recently. Like, this is the group of death, as you'd usually get from the World Cup. Like, there's one of those groups where you're like, I don't know who's going to come out of this group. I can pretty much say with certainty, I have no idea who's going to come out of this group. I don't know who's going to be eliminated, because it could be Elephant. It could be IG. Every series is going to be massive here. Like, it's not like there have been teams in the past where you're like, they're going to go 0-3. Like, like Keen Gaming, I think Season 1 was one of those teams.
Yeah, I think I have no idea. IG would be the favorites to go out, right? But we have no idea.
Yeah.
I can understand why they'd be the favorites, but like we said, the whole motivation's changed. So let's talk about the draft, because we have openings already. And I know we want to talk about China Dota all the time instead, VCOP, but we have to actually talk about the game at some point, which is a shame, I know. But Elephant, they go for this first pick Rubik, which production, we have the teams the wrong way around on the graphic. So IG are the team on the left, and Elephant are the team on the right. So first pick Rubik from IG, obviously something they've loved a lot in the past before, which I think is fine, right? Like, first pick Rubik, solid. First pick Undying for Elephant. There you go. Production are on it. See, already day one, they know what's good. Normally people don't listen to me, but these guys, they know. And then Slardar for IG afterwards. I mean, I think this hero's so strong at the moment. We've seen a lot of like Wisp Slardar as well. But this hero enables so many different things in a draft. Like, we've seen PAs before in the past. We've seen Templar Assassins and things as well. This physical damage gets amped. You can take an early Roche if it was really good. But I think the Drow pick from Elephant's great as well. Like, in the laning stage, Slardar has a really tough time against Undying Drow. And I think this laning combo is one of the stronger ones in the safe lane at the moment. You have so much kill potential with like the decays into like the slows from the arrows, the burst, like soul rip damage. It's horrible to play against.
It's going to be interesting to see this Rubik as well as the Slardar. I know IG have things in their pocket that they may show. Like, the other day, they played mid Shadow Fiend for Emo, and he played really well. I think the one thing that held them back was the fact that Dust had played that game, and I'm pretty sure he started on Faceless Void at like 0-5 and didn't really get a lot of farm. So there's only so much you could do as a Shadow Fiend to hold this game together while your Void's getting destroyed. But I would love to see something like that there for IG. And then we get into that Rubik pick like you were talking about. And there's so many good Rubik players in this region. Like, you wrap your head around how, FY is always the guy who you're going to talk about in the Chinese region about how well he plays this Rubik. But then you think about like PYW, who's really impressed. You think
Phase.
about like Kaka,
Bobica.
who's really done well. Yeah, Bobica plays it well. You've got Felix who plays it pretty all right. Even Mian Mian and Fade who just play this hero so well. So it's like one of those staple heroes in the region, and I'm excited to see this hero every time it gets picked up in this region, because I think everybody in this region plays it at such a high caliber. And then Sardar, that I've seen JT play. It might not be the first thing you think of when you think of JT heroes, but Sardar definitely a playmaker, and I think I've seen JT excel on this hero, and I'm excited to see what his build ends up being. Are we going to see an earlier Blink Dagger from him? Are we going to see something different earlier on? But Elephant kind of going back to a little bit more what we've seen with like the Undying and the Drow, and watching Eurus play this Drow before, it's been impressive as well. Like it just, I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of comfort in these heroes so far, and I'm excited. And Sapphire, which has kind of taken a backseat from its mid days, and more so I'm seeing it in the 4. So I would assume at this point, I know that's not a lock, that we'll see FY on this Sapphire.
I'm not sold on that. I think it could still be either. Like, yeah, maybe it's more likely to be 4, but I think they'll have more than enough flexibility between them to play in both. I want to say as well that it's interesting to see how we've cast Dota pits over time, even though some of them have been on the same patch and things, how different the openings have been. Because do you remember we used to have like the really hard Phoenix Mars openings, and then we had like this Morana phase, and we've had like a Magnus phase, and it feels like we've completely left all of those. And again, we're at the end of the patch now, so everybody's figured everything, maybe not everything, but like quite a lot of things out, right? So this is like their final form almost, if that makes sense.
It really is the final form. I mean, we went from seeing Vici being the only ones who are picking Omni Knight in the 5 position for DY to now that idea has kind of spread through the regions. There are a lot of teams that love that Omni Knight now, and it was Vici like the only team that was picking it up in that Dota pit, and that was what, Dota pit season 2 that they were doing that, or even season 1. I want to say back in May, they love that hero.
I can't remember the first season.
It's been a spiral of just lost memory in the last few months, or even the last 200 plus days. But now they've gone Oracle. The band's like they take away the Monkey King, which previous season was popularized by Ame, who was playing that hero really well, going into the Battle Fury Ags combo with that. In the 1 position, Spectre's been pretty popular. First item, Blade Mail, and of course, then you've got the Phantom Assassin with the Slaughter you just don't want to deal with. I
need to put a prediction in here because it looks like a really good PL game for IG. Because it's good against
and that's a fly staple.
It's good against Drow. So depending what Elephant pick here, if PL gets let through, because Lesh is banned as well already. So I think Elephant have to be a little bit worried here and careful. They've protected their Drow well with the second phase bans. But I mean, I look at this and I'm like, hell yeah, like I'm picking PL. I like the Beastmaster pick though because it works well with the lineup they have, but it's also really good against the Oracle in lane because the Oracle can't deal with the boar. Like, it feels really bad. So if they do pick PL here, my only problem would be if their lanes go really poorly, both their side lanes, which could happen. And then, they get steamrolled over by this like really high tempo push from Drow Beastmaster with like an Undying securing the team fights and things.
Yeah, I saw this Beastmaster earlier today when I was covering Empire Windstrike, and the Beastmaster was picked both games, and it enables so much. That first item, Necro Book, push potential, that the passive that's disgusting, and they go into the Sven, which I'm excited to see Fly on this Sven. I don't think he hasn't been playing with the team much, and I'm excited to see him. What's his build on Sven? How is he going to handle this? Because we've seen, even though everybody's just like, oh, Ag Sven, it's broken, like. There are other items on Sven that really still work with this hero, even if you don't take that Ags. Like, he can steamroll you with a multitude of items.
I think the Ags is too good this game, though. I don't think there's any reason not to pick it up. I've seen Blink against things like PA before because obviously the blur can dispel. What's the word? Stop the stun coming through from the Ags, which is fine. I like this Sven pick, though. I think it's a stronger laner. Against the Beastmaster, you actually have kill potential, I think, especially when your Oracle hits level 3 and you have like 2 points in stun. Your Oracle has 2 points in Purifying Flames as well. The Beastmaster has to kind of be like a little bit worried at that point. I also think the Warcry has a huge amount of value against Drow because it counts as bonus armor, so the marksmanship only pierces base armor, right? So when you pop War Quiet, effectively your whole team becomes slightly more tanky up against this Drow, which is really good.
Ban the TA, which has been one of my favorite heroes. I think that was the hero in the previous season that I called all the time last pick, no matter what. I'm not going to do that this season. I got to find a new hero to do that with, and I think it's going to be Storm Spirit. Although that was the final ban in a lot of these games in the last season as well. So both teams needing potentially a mid. Elfin could go to the mid Snapfire. I don't know they will. To me, Snapfire feels a little bit weak in the core role against this lineup, but that's just my opinion. I
think against Oracle, you probably want to put it as the 4, would be my guess, because that Oracle hero makes Snapfire's hero really difficult to play. There's the Storm Beacon. You're on it.
He's 1 for 1.
We're back.
Let's start the season right. We're back in. We're already there. We're already there. You know what? I retire. It's okay, guys. I know I signed on for the entire season, but this is the only game I'm going to do. It's fine. Mo's got the both. Play-by-play and analytical work. Ooh. Wow. Okay, so they go to the Morphling, which has been something that we've seen from this team. It's something we've actually seen from a couple teams where they they throw that like Morphling mid, and they've got the safe laner out there, and that's looking like they're going to switch it up though with Drow going mid and Morphling going safe lane. So there's been that like that 1-2 core duo kind of thing where you're both playing like a 1 position.
So the way I see this Morphling is when you play against Slardar, you want to try and have these carry heroes that have high agi, right? So you think about Morphling, like TB and things are obviously going to be very good. And when you see like Slardar Sven, you're like, okay, well, if we pick some like high agi hero here, like the Morphings or TBs or things, then we're already going to have a good core-to-core matchup, right? Obviously, the big question mark for me is how well this Drow is going to do mid. It feels like it should do really well up against the Storm because you get this massive range advantage. Looks like a great Gust game. I think if Eurus has a good time, he can be that hero that blows up the Oracle at the start of the fight as well, which is because that's kind of what they were lacking before, like this burst damage, right? And so I think that Eurus, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Eurus to find that Oracle in the fights, or like somebody does. Otherwise, I think Elephant might struggle. But this IG lineup, it's a little bit greedy. I think if they start to fall behind, the game gets incredibly difficult. Because, like, Storm, Sven, these guys both want to try and farm the jungle for a little while until you get, like, your first item online kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if Slardar then gets shut down in the laning stage, who's, like, controlling the mid game for them, effectively? I think there'd be a lot of pressure on the Storm at that point, where it might not be how he wants to play his game.
So we'll have to see how game 1 goes. Any prediction? Any thoughts?
Prepare
for battle.
I think Elephant will win just because I think they have slightly better team fight. I will say it looks like a decent Storm game. I'm just slightly worried about the little bit of a greed on IG. That's greed, not grief, by the way. I'll make sure everybody knows. He sounds so Vico.
I didn't think you were saying grief.
I know what Twitch chat like.
It's always about the greed with you.
Those little lurkers.
They're actually going to throw the Drow safe lane, Morphling mid. So this is something I was kind of expecting with what they've played before when they've done this.
I mean, it can be either. I think it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But like we said, I think if the Morphling... It looks like a good Morphling game. So if you can give your Morphling a decent advantage, then I think it feels fine. Have you seen Kaka here, by the way, on the Rubik, checking for vision? But Eurus knows. Ooh. So he's just hanging out in the trees. Hasn't put his ward down yet.
Doesn't have a sentry. Is he going to be past one?
Yeah, he's passing it over to Red Panda.
He's going to pass it over to Undying.
Yeah, they didn't see the Rubik put the ward down. So, but this is a really good ward for the Rubik to have put down in the first place.
And
you're going to see the Undying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sees the sentry. And that's, well, this Observer's going to stay standing for a little bit, at least.
Interesting Ring of Protection on the Undying.
I was going to ask about that, because we've seen a couple different builds from Undyings. We've seen this build every now and then that Red Panda is doing right now. We've seen the Boots build, the Orb of Venom build. So,
yeah,
it's a couple that we've seen.
This definitely isn't an Orb of Venom game, because you know the Rubik's going to go Boots first. So it's like, well, we can't really chase him down. Like, yeah, maybe we can the Slardar potentially, but it's going to be difficult. So yeah, the Ring of Protection obviously going to help against all this physical damage from the Slardar especially.
So, Emo playing this Storm, he's one of those guys that I think ranks towards the top in terms of Storm players in the region. But Eurus Morph is like his bread and butter.
Yeah.
A lot of comfort in this draft, in both drafts.
I want to see more from IG, because you remember when we cast IG before, they have been having a rough time recently. I just want to see more from them now they're back together again. Like the band's back, you know? Let's push the game onto the next level.
And this feels like if the Beatles ever got back together and then they were like, all right, Pete Best, you can come too.
I know they've got more in them that we haven't seen. And I just hope for everybody watching that we all get to see that together.
I mean, I 100% agree with that sentiment, because we were seeing IG, I would say, earlier this year, January or so. I want to say before I don't know, before we thought there wasn't going to be a TI, like while the DPC was actually happening, that we knew how good IG were. And they're going to go with the Tombstone bottom, look to get this kill on a Kaka. One more shot away, and it will be the Decay that gets it. Red Panda drawing first blood, taking out Kaka.
Top lane as well.
Fly top. Scatterblast action. Fly actually the one in danger now. Yang backs off of that.
These boars are giving away so much XP, though, in the top lane as well. I think that's at least the second one they've killed that I've seen. Gotta be a little bit careful with those.
Can't be giving away too many boars.
And Oracle is about to hit that level 3 mark as well, so obviously this lane, I think this lane completely changes at that point.
That
like when you get the
spot
point.
when, yep, his second point purifying flames, when you could steal kills.
Red Panda, bot lane.
In some trouble. Bash comes out. JT getting a kill there, helping Kaka to get a kill there, using that Fable, and then back up towards top. FY in trouble once again. He throws up the Scatterblast, but there it is. Ollie getting the kill on FY, and all of a sudden they string some together.
Radiant's courier has been.
Sure, I haven't missed a kill yet. I'm just saying, guys. OGA guys, I'm on it today. This is it. You think it's day 1 of the tournament? 5:20 AM. You think Mo Farah's not on it? This is me. I'm ready. B Cup. I'm so ready for China.
Ooh. Fly. I just want to say I didn't miss any of those kills just yet. Fire Snap Cookie up top. Ollie in some trouble once again. And he's going to fall here. Yang getting the kill onto this Oracle. Did you get that one, Mo?
I did.
Down.
But I like how you said you hadn't missed any yet. Like, you covered yourself.
Yeah, well, I know how bad my camera work is. That's why I'm glad I'm not the one who's doing the main camera work position.
What is this Undying skill build? He's got 201.
And no soul rip, no fear.
But like, so the way, do you remember where we talked about it before?
Storm's coming down here with a haste. Electric Vortex Tombstone on the high ground. I like the Tombstone. The question is, can they get anything out of this? They're going to look over at Kaka to maybe get one in return as Red Panda ends up falling. So Somna's happy with a trade. He doesn't mind it, and they don't give away the Tombstone
zombies
gold.
On the Slardar as well. We're actually hurting.
Oh, JT?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
JT?
Come on, little zombies, go! That's usually your line, so I stole it for a split second.
No, I only do it when they look like they're going to kill somebody. Sorry, that's...
oh, okay.
That's the way it goes. Yeah, so... Whatever. A lot of the time in Europe, we see like this 1-4-1 skill build, right? From the Undyings. And then in China, when we saw Innocence playing it, he was going 1-1-4 and playing around the Tombstone a lot. But I've never seen more than 1 point in Decay in a long time.
It's a misclick, you know?
But it's cool. It's nice to see people do things different, like to each other. If everybody did everything the same way, it would be the most boring game in the world. League.
I spoke about that game recently. I watched, this is a while back that I watched a game and they got first blood in like a lane and the commentators were like, the game's over.
Yeah.
It's okay. I was like, the game's over? What do you mean? It was first blood before the Horde. And I typed in chat, is the game really over? And I was met with a lot of, yes, it is. And it was. They lost very quickly.
Yang on the Beastmaster, by the way, has gone Medallion first, which is cool.
Ooh.
Different to the Necrobook first that we've been seeing a lot of the time. Eurus
Back and
manages
forth between Emo and Eurus.
Yeah, he manages to bottle the Arcane Rune as well. Taking that away from the Storm's a big deal. He's TPing top, though.
TP up top, going to try and help Ali, who's already dead to Yang, but FY's here, and let's see if they can get the return kill. Scatterblast, Stormhammer, and Yang pops the wand, survives for now, gets to the high ground, but Emo, too accurate, gets the kill, takes out Yang. They end up trading, and then over bottom, Kaka and JT getting chased. A lot of trouble here for the Rubik as well as the Sword Art. Let's see who they're going to focus their attention on. Telekinesis throws him down right into Somnus. They might not get either. And, yeah, they won't.
Yeah, that was... I thought there was going to be an uphill miss on the Storm there at the end. That's what I was waiting for. Flyfly's trying to chase down FY here. He's popped the God Strength. I don't know how FY feels about this.
FY?
Yeah, but if they get the Flyfly
I mean, is this going to allow Yang to get the kill?
The disarm on the boar. Oh, Yang.
Is it enough? Is it enough? Oh, the jukes. Stormhammer, can he take out the boar, Medallion, and the Fortune's End?
God.
Oh, gosh. Can't catch up to Fly. Getting saved by Ali.
They might turn.
Yeah, they look like they're going to turn, but the Primal Roar comes out. Yang still doesn't have the damage to get this kill. Fly getting healed up now, and he survived. So Primal Roar gets used, and it doesn't get them anything.
Yeah, but God Strength also used, and it doesn't really get them anything either, right? So you kind of trade 1 for 1 in that sense.
Well, got a kill on to FY.
Radiant's courier has been
Yeah,
technically.
I guess so.
Ooh.
Yeah. But it's not really how you want to be using God Strength. You want to be farming with it, right? So, have you seen how many denies this Drow has as well?
25.
That is insane. Like, JT is not having fun.
All over the map.
He's not even level 5 on the starter. And Drow's level 7.
Oh my god. Up towards top, Fortune's End. Being thrown at FY. Ball Lightning with the Electric Vortex, but Yang getting the kill on Ali in return. Red Panda's up here. Emo's made the commitment. Now, Ball Lightning all the way forward. So Gus is there. The silence is out. Somnus is going to try and get this kill. Ball Lightning only enough mana to get so far away. But is it going to be far enough away? And it looks like it. If Yang maybe had Primal Roar for that one, they might have been able to kill out this Storm. But using it earlier, not available now. And now they'll pressure the top tier 1.
I love this rotation from Somnus. This is really strong. He started TPing as soon as he knew there might have been a fight starting to kick off top. Because not only can they try and take the fight, but they can also try and transition for this top tier 1. Because they know in the bot lane, JT without his level 6 doesn't really offer the same amount of pressure to like heroes that TP in and try and defend. Whereas nobody can come up here from the Dire side, I don't think. If they do, I'd be very surprised.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower.
This game has been very exciting for the first 10 minutes so far.
Yeah, 11 kills. A lot of action.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Eurus just sitting over mid. He hasn't made a rotation yet from the mid lane, and he's actually sitting a level ahead of this Storm. Not a full level ahead, but he's at 9. Storm's at 8 for the moment, and he's just continuing to farm, going into this Lincoln Sphere first.
Interesting. Okay. So obviously the Lincoln's pretty good up against the Sven, up against the Storm and things. But like that, and even like Rubik, I guess you have to cast Spell Steal before you lift. Again, it's not a build that we used to see, like we usually see first all the time. Sometimes we see it against like Bat Riders and things, but we, you know, most more things we see go for like this either Mask of Madness or like more with Mask into Manta. But I'd be surprised if he didn't go Lincoln's E-Blade, I think, this game.
Wondering if it's going to be straight Ags now for Snapfire after the Boots Bracer.
I would assume so, but I don't think it has to be.
Ooh.
Big stack.
Yeah, if I'd taken a couple of those creeps.
Yeah, he takes the tome as well, so he's almost going to be level 6 here. I mean, 2k advantage already for Elephant. Just dipped under to 1k again, but it's literally just the Slardar's the only core in the game that is not having a decent time. Like, look at the net worth difference between the Slardar and all the other cores. Beastmaster almost has Medallion. Vlad's, like, he's having a great time. You have to remember they have potential to take a really early Roche on both teams. Oh, mid.
Ball Lightning, Vortex going in for the Drow. They've got the Mortimer's Kisses coming out as well as the Stolen Tombstone, but that's just going to be gold going the way of Eurus, so an extra 150 in his pocket. Meanwhile, Fly,
what?
He's going to die here bottom solo to Yang.
So not only do they kill the carry strand, they get the mid-tier 1 because Eurus manages to keep its catapult alive by tanking the tower. And it opens up so much of the map now. And do you remember we were saying in the draft, if Slardar doesn't have a good time, who's controlling the tempo for IG? And now I'm exactly in the same predicament. Emo's not going Orchid first, he's gone Kaya. So where's their mid-game damage output coming from? I cannot believe this Beastmaster solo killed a Sven in the bot lane as well. That's pretty
I think
crazy.
that's the gold that they just got. They got the tower, they got the tombstone, the stolen tombstone for 150 extra gold for Morphling, and then they got the solo kill.
I was hoping we were going to see some max decay from Red Panda, but not to be, unfortunately.
Just want to do our first, chat interaction of the tournament.
Oh, you got to be a good one if it's going to be fair, speak up.
Oh, don't put that pressure on me. I was going to make it simple and easy. Never mind. Unless you got a better one.
Oh, have I got a better one? Okay. Let's do over-under for when the first Roche is going to be taken. What shall our minute be? I'm going to say
17 minutes.
Yeah, I think 17's a good one. So if we think Roche is going to be before 17 minutes when it dies, press 1. If you think it's over 17 minutes, press 2. Roar.
Primal Roar on JT. They also got the tower, Fire Snap Cookie as well as the Waveform, and then the Soul Rip Yang getting the kill on JT. I do want to know, production, do we have access to predictions in the dashboard on Twitch?
Oh, good question.
I'd love to start using those.
That would take chat interaction to a whole new level.
That and polls. Get that chat interaction up there. Smoke coming out from IG. They're going to make their way over towards bottom. They'll TP over. Immediately the tombstone. And Mortimer's Kiss coming out. Eurus as well as Red Panda taking a bit of damage here from Emo. But is it going to be enough? The Sorb to survive a little bit longer. Red Panda ends up dropping. Eurus just fighting this Oracle. Can't get the kill just yet. What does Rubik have? He's just got that tombstone. He's placed it already. False promise used on the Oracle. And then he gets the steal. And it's only a steal on tombstone again. So they'll get the kill on the Ollie. They'll take out one. They end up losing FY. You're still looking for more. JT comes over, but the right click's coming out from Somnus, balling onto the backlines. They've got the Electric Vortex out of the Droughter. They have the damage to get the kill. They take out JT. They lose Somnus. 5-5 fighting with this God Strength. Now they've got the minus armor on Eurus. So Eurus and Yang, they're going to try and retreat from this one. IG still pressing forward. Ball Lightning, get the slow onto Eurus. And they've got the Vortex. They're going to get this kill onto the Morphling. Another Fire Snap Cookie as well as the Scatterblast that hits onto 3 of these heroes. They get the kill on Kaka.
Yes,
now
Yang.
they look over for Emo. Yang moving forward here with a nice Primal Roar onto the Sven. Emo surviving for now. They're continuing to walk forward looking for the Storm instead of the Sven. But Yang's in a little bit of trouble. The Scatterblast slows up the Sven. They get the kill on Ollie for the second time. They look over as now Firefly is on the retreat. Uses that War Cry. Avoids the Fire Snap Cookie with a nice dodge going back down, moving towards the tower, and will escape. So does Emo.
That stolen tombstone at the start of the fight was massive, because I don't know if you saw, they both did exactly the same thing at the same time, where they put the tombstone on the high ground, and there was just zombies everywhere. They managed to find FY just as he started casting Mortimer's Kisses as well, on the right-hand side of the map. So taking out that Snapfire damage straight away at the start of the fight, fantastic. And as soon as Drow turns up, blown up instantly. Really well played. It's just good target selection from IG. So even if they're a little bit behind, and Sardar's not like massively farmed, at least he still offers something in the fight with the corrosive hazes and things.
What did he steal this time? Waveform.
That's
What
a
was
good steal.
with... My question is, what was with Kaka? He stole Tombstone, And then he used Spell Steal on the Morphling and then stole back Tombstone.
Radiant's bottom tower.
As soon as he used Tombstone at the start of the fight, he stole something different. Oh, Roach, guys. It's before 17 minutes.
No. But he spell stole from Morphling in that bottom fight, and it was still Tombstone.
Oh my... Hang on.
They're doing this so fast. 16 minutes. Wow.
Yeah. Sorry, we should have predicted the 14-minute DD rune being in the bottle of Eurus.
And then the Arcane rune afterwards. Ooh, finding F-Fly. Ball lightning all the way in and committing the God Strength. They're going to bring Eurus over. Telekinesis, lift it up into the air, but nothing more. IG are going to retreat from this one.
Yeah.
He still has that double damage.
You have to remember this whole time Morph's been fighting without his first item. So, where this Sven has been is innately strong already, and obviously Morph is as well. When he gets that first item, I think he becomes 10 times stronger. This Sven's having a really good game though, at least. You know, how many times have we seen Sven this patch just almost 1 versus 5 a lot of the time? You know, this hero when he gets his Ags is pretty ridiculous. And he's about halfway there already.
Primal Roar onto the Oracle. Only in trouble who false promised himself. Waveform forward from Eurus, so they've got the damage to get the kill. But he's going to D-ward before he dies. Value life.
Easy.
And in Fly then getting a kill there on the Red Panda.
I like how everybody's just started their predictions for the Roche timings coming in now. But unfortunately, guys,
or
it's
two
already been done. I can't remember which one. Whoever said under. Oh, done. I think one was under, right?
We only asked this question 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, that was too long ago, dude. Come on.
So
you asked me about OGA Season 1 earlier. I mean, come on. Give me a break.
Come on, dude. We got to remember the seasons. JT, not really recovering just yet, if you look at the net worths.
No, but when he gets blinked, it's this hero's completely different now. Even if he is behind in net worth, he's always going to have that instant initiation with a blink crush. He's going to amp up the Sven's damage. Here we go.
And there it is, going for FY, but the two-man silence with the Gust. They've got the multi-shot coming in, and they get the damage to kill off Emo. They're going to look for more.
Trouble.
JT getting stunned by that Fire Snap Cookie. They've got the right-click damage coming in from Somnus. And that is 2 there for Elephant.
Yeah, really well played. Great Gust by Somnus to completely change that fight. They don't have vision on the high ground on IG, so they don't know who's standing up there, and they try to make the play, but they get punished massively for it. There's a Solar Crest on the Beastmaster now as well, so there's more.
Oh, the damage! Kaka!
I missed that. Oh no.
Somnus procced Marksmanship 3 times in a row and just destroyed him.
That's what I like to hear.
Oh my god.
Flyfly's actually
going tier 2 mid.
Flyfly's actually going BKB before Ags on the Sven as well. Which I'm not sure I agree with. It's obviously he needs to go for both, but I don't know if the BKB is the thing that will win them fights. Is my problem. Yes, it's okay, but with the Storm and the Slardar so far behind, it feels like the BKB is going to keep them in the fights rather than help them win them, and I think they're just going to start to fall further and further behind. I might be completely wrong, but yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So, I like the Solar Crest here. Not only is he getting the extra Inner Beast, but he's also getting the Solar Crest help on Eurus.
Yeah, it's important when you play against the Slardar, though, that you itemize properly. Right? And he wants Vlads because he's effectively amping up the damage of the Jar and the Morphling with the lifesteal and stuff as well is nice. But the Solar Crest obviously helps offset some of the Slardar minus armor. And it's just a great item in general.
Already going to that Ball Lightning creep clear in and out.
He has Bloodstone, though, so the spell amp is really useful for that. Mid lane.
They're gonna look over. Bash, Slither, and Crush coming out. Somnus trying to survive there with that Manta. Not gonna be able to do so. And now they look over at Eurus. They've got the telekinesis. They've broken their Lincolns. Do they have the damage to waveform away? Attack to strike onto the Sven. Red Panda, Fortune's End coming his way, so they've locked him down for a second. Ball lightning forward. Stormhammer as well. Firestorm Cookie trying to get back, but that actually brings him in at FY. Now Stormhammer hits both of them. Southern Crush, there's the kill on the 2. Double kill for FlyFly. Looking for more popping the Lincolns on Eurus once again. He turns into the Rubik. There's the Fortune's End, and they've got the control. They have the damage to get the kill. Primal Roar is not going to matter. Stolen Primal Roar. Kaka gets it, throws it back on the Yang, and it's going to be a full team wipe for the side of IG.
He didn't even use his BKB on the Sven. Like, I can't believe Elephant have tried to fight that after the Drow died. You can't take these fights 4-on-5, right? And the fight goes so badly because not only does the Drow die, but FY comes in with the cookie to try and save the Undying. But unfortunately, the Sven's already precast stun, and it means it hits both of them rather than just the Undying, and so it just tumbles out of control. Like, it's one after the other in terms of pick-off potential for IG. And now this Sven, after that fight, is absolutely massive. Because not only has he just picked up BKB, he's only just over 1,000 gold away from the Ags now. Like, I don't know what's just happened. I mean, they were in such a commanding position on Elephant, and they've lost like 5,000, 6,000 gold from that one fight.
Yeah.
All it takes is one bad decision, and the game just completely flips on its head. And FY has the Ags now, though.
And there's the Ags for the Snapfire. You've got Drow going into the Hurricane Pike, not too far away from that. Also having that Manta trying to survive with it in that fight to begin with, but couldn't do so.
I think she has to go BKB, right? Like, the Hurricane Pike's fine as well, but I don't know. I feel like this BKB just helps secure them this mid game, right? Maybe they just feel like if they want the game to go like further on and like scale a little bit later, then they can hold off on the BKB. But yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant
Kisses. Oh. Our TP's away.
So, Eurus is going to try and get the Seagull Song, finish up the E-Blade, get into the BKB afterwards. Where's Emo at? Because he was towards the bottom in terms of core net worths. But now he's in an okay spot, and he's going for the Orchid. He's not that far away from it.
Yeah, and IG going to take a tier 1, but if they lose a tier 2 themselves, which they have here, then it's not a great trade for them.
They're going to try and fight.
The Storm has to TP back. So.
From both teams. E-Blade finished for the Morphling. Now there's the Bash as well as the Southern Crush. They've got the Stormhammer. They get the kill on the Yang, and now taking on the Beastmaster. They throw in Red Panda. Almost feeling like it's going to be to his death, but they've got the Primal Roar still stolen, so Cochran throws that out on a Red Panda, and they've got the damage coming in from FlyFly. They get the kill onto the Undying. Now they look over at this Oracle. They'll take out Ollie. Buyback used as Undying trying to come back into the fight. They've got the Gust that hits onto the Sardar as well as the Storm. They look over at FlyFly. Do they have any damage with the BKB? Manta running away. Waveform over, and there's the Electric Vortex on Eurus as well as the Stormhammer. They've got the triple kill from FlyFly. Taking out 3, but they end up losing this Sven. That is a 10-time spree going into the hands of Somnus. Still looking for Emo. Right clicks, Ball Lightning. There's the distance, and Emo gets away.
Yeah, Red Panda has to buy back for that, but that fight could have gone awfully for them. The only reason it didn't on Elephant is because the Tombstone did so much heavy lifting. Like, IG didn't focus it down quick enough. They don't really have any great tomb hitters. So this Sven got, whenever he didn't have the Stormbolt up, Stormhammer, whatever, he couldn't like get onto people directly straight away. Like, towards the end of the fight, he started getting kited around a little bit because of the slow on the zombies.
That is now the 3rd time they've killed Eurus. Eurus actually had an 0-3-7 score line at the moment. Was Lincoln's the right choice first item for him?
I don't. I think when you look at the game, I think it looks okay. But it's the kind of thing where if you're playing for like this mid-game timing, I don't know, it's not awful, like it's okay. Storm. Oh my god.
Wow.
That was insane.
Emo's gone.
That must have been like just enough damage to kill him off as well. I was about to say, after that fight before, Storm was having a really good game. Like, he was up to 21 Bloodstone charges. He didn't die in that last fight. He was doing really well. He caught up in net worth, and then he gets soloed by Eurus. And it's like, oh, never mind.
Nice. And going for the Lincolns next. He's still a little further back, but in a good spot to recover still, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. The second Roach is up here as well, and they have Flesh Golem. They have Solar Crest. We've seen this before.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi.
The courier comes in and it's
4
like, oh.
Mississippi. It dies! 5, 6, 6 seconds.
Oh dear.
Roche not even a boss at this point. He's a tutorial boss. Whoa! Stormhammer from the high ground. God's Strength getting used. FY. I don't even know if he saw that coming.
Sven Gaming.
Yeah, the cast range on Stormhammer.
It's a nerf, yes.
Yeah, I don't even think it would be that bad if the cast range was shorter, because that was just from the high ground all the way over to like where the Roche entrance is.
They really want to use this God Strength to carry on fighting, but they don't have any vision on the high ground to the right, so they don't want to like run up into a tombstone or something and take that engagement as God Strength's coming back down again. So they're just going to chill for now. Is there some Lotus on the Beastmaster coming out? I think he's missing. Might just be missing one component. Okay. Yes.
It's actually the surprise refresher. It's got the essence ring too. I'm very impressed with Yang so far. It's had a nice game up to this point.
And they know there's no God Strength here on Elephant, so they want to go for this. Like, they want to try and commit and get damage on this.
Dropping the tombstone.
Oh my god, that Morphin.
And there's Lincoln's pop. They're going with the Stormhammer. Do they have the damage to get the kill here onto the Morphling? They've got themselves the Gobble Up as well as the Spit Out. Now the Southern Crush coming out from Eurus, who's turned into the Slardar. They get the kill into JT. They look over at Firefly, who pops the BKB. The ball lightning away. Emo retreating back into the base, and as does Fly, but now he's got really no BKB and nothing to throw towards this Elephant side with God Strength on cooldown for another 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, the only damage output they've had in the last fights that they've won on IG has come out from this God Strength, and as soon as it's down, you can see the trouble they've been having to, like, take these fights. Gets popped here, though.
They're gonna have to make the jump. They're gonna have to pop the Lincolns. Whoa, Kaka getting blown up! Turns into the Slardar once again. They've got the Electric Vortex. The False Promises used on the Sven. They get the kill into Somnus. Now they look over at Eurus. Waveform back. Stormhammer on the FY. He's in a little bit of trouble. The damage coming out, but it's not going to be enough to get the kill into the Sapphire just yet. And now he's morphed into the Sven. So he throws the Stormhammer out. Now that comes down on FY. Eurus, Waveform, trying to maneuver his way out of this one. There's the Stormhammer once again. They pop the Lincolns, but he's morphing into the Strength. Does he have enough to survive? Stormhammer over at the Sven. They've got a lift on him. Ball lightning over. Eurus in some trouble. Waveforms from distance again, and he is still looking like he might get away. With the Force F as well as the Blink Dagger coming out from JT. There's the Southern Crush. The Stormhammer used by Eurus once again. Coming through from Fly. Fortune's End right on top of him, and they pop the Aegis. Can they take the second life here from the Morphling? First hit bash, Eurus, Waveform over the cliff, trying to TP out. Fortune's End, no, not going to be there.
He has the BKB on Morphling, so just pops the BKB to secure the retreat with the TP. That was really well played. IG, they managed to burst the jar from 100 to 0 before she can get cheese off. That was crazy. So, I mean, she has the gold for Lincolns now, which is obviously going to help her a lot. But, I mean, this God Strength with the Slardar Corrosive Haze is just ripping through people. But, I mean, you've seen what happens if Elephant managed to get to the high ground and God Strength isn't available. Like, IG can't take fights. They are so bound to this cooldown of God Strength that you do have to be careful.
Kind of crazy how make or break that one skill is for them right now. But I guess Storm behind in net worth, Slardar, you know, yeah, he's got the Blink Dagger, but it feels like he's just in initiation at the moment. We'll see if he turns into something more. Orb of Destruction for the Drow. See who ends up taking that, if anybody.
Yeah, I mean, she has Quiver, which she kind of wants to keep instead. It's like more damage over a fight than Orbital Destruction a lot of the time. So, Morphling kind of wants the Nether Shawl as well. Maybe FY would take it, but he's got Blink now on FY as well. Really good item up against the Sven Storm.
Where they're setting up in the jungle so far. They look like they're gonna make their move again, but God Strength is available.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, but Drow has Lincolns now, so the fight's different. I personally would have loved to have seen her go BKB, but I think the Lincolns is fine as well. Like all these sources of initiation, whether it's the Sven stun, like the lift, the Storm Pool, even the Slardar with the Crows of Haze does a huge amount of work in fights if you get on the Drow. So.
Alright, chat. We're gonna do a second chat interaction for the game.
Okay.
Does IG pull the comeback? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Mo, thoughts?
2.
What'd I say? 1 for yes, 2 for no?
Yeah. I don't think they will. I think as this game goes further and further on, I think this Morphling gets harder and harder to kill.
I can't believe I asked the question and I immediately forgot what I said. But that seems about right for where my brain's at.
I like how before you complained that we forgot what the Rotron was, and then this time you forget straight away.
Sounds about right. Eurus going into the Manta style. And then Somnus going into the Daedalus.
Yeah, Daedalus is really good on Drow. This item's pretty crazy. With how marksmanship works as well. Mid lane, I don't know if they smoke under a ward or not, I'm not sure. They have a gem on the Beastmaster as well, so they're starting to take over the map here.
I want to say they did, because then they killed the ward afterwards. Minimum respawn time on Roche is 1:15. You can see Elephant not fighting into this Sven, just kind of meandering around, at least for now. But Svensson, top of the net worth. He's got the AC now going into an Abyssal Blade. They'll smoke themselves. They take a good fight here, and it's a short respawn time. All of a sudden, we can find themselves, getting into the third Roche. And there's the new bug, the Dota chat wheel message missing hero.
Love that. I don't even know what hero it's for this time. Usually, it worked for Void Spirit before, but I don't know if there's any other heroes.
Blink, bash, now they've got Emo going in, they get the kill on FY, they look over at Eurus, who pops the BKB, turns into Sven. He's got to find somebody. Primal Roar comes out into JT. JT taking a lot of damage here from Eurus. He'll end up falling, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 so far. JT dead for 94 seconds without buyback. They'll get the kill on the Undying. Red Panda does have buyback. He'll use it immediately. Ollie falls. He's got buyback as well. BKB. And now, running into this one, Sven taking a lot of damage. Firefly, though. He'll get the kill on the Somnus. Now he looks over at Eurus. Do they have the damage to get the kill on the Morphling? Yes, they do. Or do they? No, they don't. It looked like he was on a sliver of health. They get the kill on Firefly with just enough to get this kill, and they'll look over as he turns into the Sven and gets the Stormhammer out on an Emo, and Eurus gets another kill, taking out the Storm. I can't believe he survives there.
That fight was so on edge. Like, if the Morphling dies there, then the fight's completely different. Like, there's such small things in these fights that are making the difference. Like, in the turnarounds and things. Really great Hawk by the Beastmaster at the start of the fight in the trees on the side. It's still there. It allowed them to see the Sven and the Slardar, just hanging around in the area. So it gave them perfect target selection at the start of the fight, which is fantastic. But this Sven, you can see, he just turns with God Strength, and the Drow has to be so careful.
And I understand Ollie not buying back, because there's no way into that fight. He doesn't come back in, he's not going to be back into that fight. BKB. E-Blade, but there's the false promise.
And that's the BKB down on the Morph, so they're going to have to be really careful here about the Sven and the Storm when they respawn.
There's the 2 or 3 guy on top.
Oh, the creep gets thrown in!
Ooh, gobble up, spit out. Holly in some trouble. Primal Roar used. Blink Slither Crush, that's going to come through on FY as well as Yang, but they've got the control to get the kill on Akaka. He's dead for 90 seconds now. No buyback.
Yeah, I don't really know what Kaka's doing here. Like, yeah, I know that they want to try and poke and defend their racks and things, but when the Storm and the Sven are like 10 seconds from being up, like, just let the top racks go. You're not going to be able to defend it anyway, right? And now they have to fight 4 versus 5 again on IG.
Wonder Miscus is coming in. Stormhammer used. Yours in a little bit of trouble. They get the Gust on both heroes. BKB's been popped by Firefly. They're going to go for this kill onto the Morphling, but they get the kill on Emo. He's dead for 90 seconds. No buyback. Stormhammer onto the backlines. Look it over. FY gets the kill on the Snapfire. Now Cheese finally eaten. Right click's coming through from Simon. JT trying to get on top of this Drow, but it looks like they'll have the damage to get the kill on a Firefly as well as JT. Both of them dead. No buyback. And Elephant will take game 1 with the full team wipe to put the stamp of victory on this game.
Yeah, Elephant obviously deserved the win. It wasn't massively one-sided though. It feels like it could have